Okay, duration. Duration, as it means, is how long something goes for. So this is level 1 durations, but it's important to understand it, and I find a lot of students who do level 2 and 3, they forget these elements, which is okay because they're sort of more philosophical parts of music. So let's go over them to review them and see if we can use them again. Okay, so we'll begin here with this, what we call the quarter note. It's very common, you're going to see this a lot. And I've got a pictures of pie graph here where you can see what the quarter looks like. This just helps us visualize it. And here are my quarter notes. Sometimes the stems can go down on the note, and sometimes they can go up. It's worth a quarter fraction, and there's its name, the quarter note. And in our common time signature, a quarter note is worth 1 beat. And when we have a time signature that is using this quarter note as the beat, we had the 4 written on the bottom of the time signature. So time signatures like 4/4, 3/4, and 2/4 are all quarter note based time signatures. They're the most common ones you're going to see. In fact, they're the only ones you're going to see for level 1 and level 2. The other time signatures based on 8 and 2 is what you will see when you get to level 3. So, level 1 students don't need to worry about any of the other fancy ones. We're going to center everything off this quarter note. So it makes it easier to figure out. So, if my beat symbol is the quarter note, then when I see the other note symbols, they tell me to play a note of a different duration. So this is the half note. Sorry, the light's glaring there. This is the half note, and you can see how a quarter has, a half has 2 quarters inside of it. And if the quarter note is our beat symbol, this one, that means that when I see a half note in the music, I have to let that note ring for 2 beats. So that's the symbol of the half note. I'll just redraw them so you can see them. So there they are. They've got a hollow head, whereas the quarter note has a full in head, and the stems can go up or down. Okay, so it's worth half, and you can see it's worth 2 beats because it's twice the size. You can visually see that there in the picture. It's twice the size of our beat symbol, the quarter. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now here is what we call the whole note, and it has just a hollow head, there's no stem on it, and there it is filled in all black, and that means it takes up the whole space. What I sometimes tell people is it's like a pie or a pizza in the oven, and it comes out, it's whole, it's fresh, like that. I can chop it up in halves, I can chop it into quarters. And if it's a pizza, of course for the pizza we chop them into 8s, don't we? So we'll get to the 8s in a minute. So this just helps you understand that these are amounts of something, these are fractions. So the whole note, or the whole pie out of the oven, when I chop it into quarters, I get 4 parts. So if the quarter note is my beat, a whole note's going to be worth 4 of those beats, because it's 4 times the size of the quarter. Okay. Probably the best way to demonstrate that is, here is a bar of 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter notes filling the bar. The next bar, I'm going to write in 2 half notes. And the next bar, I'm just going to put in a whole note. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, finish. Hopefully that's self-explanatory. Now these are all the notes that are larger than the beat or are the beat. Now let's break our beat in half, because as in we have our pizza out of the oven, we chop it half first, then we chop it quarters, so then we get this, and then we do 2 more slashes on an X. That gives us 8 pizzas of pizza. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this quarter value and we're going to chop it in half, and that's what this symbol is. So these are 8s, and you can see the flags coming off them, and they've got their stems down or up. They look both ways. Now, when they're next to each other, we actually tend to group them like this in what we call beat groups. So this is the same value as a whole quarter note because I have 2 eighths. Remember, an eighth is half of our quarter note beat. So that means I'm going to play, this will be, say, beat 1 and. So if this was my tempo before of 1, 2, 3, 4, I could change this music to 8ths. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you can see how I'm singing 2 notes for every tap of my pen here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it sounds quicker, but really what we're doing is we're halving the value of our beat. Okay, so the best way to really understand this is to have a watch this video and talk to people about it and learn about it, but then to actually do it. So let's go to doing some examples of it. I'll just see if I can adjust my camera on the fly. Okay, it's not looking bad there. All right, so we're going to look at time signature itself, and that'll tell us several things we need to know before we start playing. Okay, excellent. Handycam. All right. So, time itself, we have a couple of elements here. We have tempo, how fast or how slow it can be. And so we have slow, we have moderate, and we have fast tempos. There's actually a lot of variations of those. And so a slow tempo, say at the time of the tick of the clock, 60 is about that fast. So I could treat that as what we call moderate, like a walking tempo. I'm just going to walk to this speed. Or I could play it slower, say maybe it's a lovely ballad song, or you listen to music while you're on the beach with your parents. Nice gentle music, it's good to eat to, watch the sunset go down. Or maybe you're excited because you're on your way to school, and so you need something that's really expressing that speed. I'm so happy about going to school. I get happy about going to school. Okay, so that's our tempo. Okay, now time signature. This tells us about how many beats are in each of the measures of our bar. So, like the examples I just played before, this one says we have 4 beats. There are other ones as well, such as 2/4. So we have 4 beats in this bar, and this one we only have 2. And you can see there's 2 quarter notes, then a bar line, a half note, bar line. And here, in the 4/4, we have 4 quarter notes and a bar line. So it's just different ways of breaking up the phrasing of the music and how long each bar goes for. Now this one here in the bottom, this tells me which note is representing the beat. So if you remember before, from up here, the quarter note is represented in this purple square as the bottom number of our time signature. Now if you're in an alternate time signature, or another one, you could have, say, 4 2 notes, which means you would be measuring off this half note. But don't worry about that. All you need to know is that for your music in level 1 and 2, we actually just focus on this quarter note being our beat. So everything is very predictable and easy. Sorry if I got too much camera shake there for you. Alright, let's see if we can play through these examples. This might help a lot in terms of understanding how this works. Okay, just get the camera in the right spot. Okay, first example is in 4/4 time, so I'm going to count 4 beats. We'll just go like a moderate tempo like this. Just see me clicking through these beat symbols. And then that's it, the final bar line at the end. So, I might just play my guitar actually, and I'll point out what I'm playing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Finish. Okay, now you may notice this symbol here. This is called a fermata. Yes, that's another Italian word. And fermata means to hold the note for as long as you like. So it's up to the expression of the artist how long that time is. I'm going to do that. I'll still count to 4. 1. You can play along too if you like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Fermata. So I'm going to keep going for as long as I feel like it. The stars in the universe tell me to stop now. It's up to you. Let's try the 2/4 example. So I'm just playing the 6th string of the guitar, the lowest string. Here we go. After 2, I'll give you 2 bars. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, rest. Now you notice how I caught that note there? Because I've got these 8ths here. 1 and 2 and catch. I've got to stop after that. There's no fermata there for me to say, just play it as long as I like. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1. Rest. 2, 1 and 2 and. Cool. Hopefully that's easy enough to see. Okay, one last little thing about time. 4/4 is so common in Western music and in Western music history as well. They started talking about it as just being common. It's just common. And everyone kept on saying, "Oh, what time signature are we in, Bill?" And he said, "Oh, it's the common one, you know, common one. 4/4. Oh yeah." And then everyone started repeating common time, so it became known as common time. So if you ever see that C, no, it doesn't mean a giant C for any other reason than common time. Okay. Cool. So here are your level 1 time signatures: 4/4, 2/4. Now, if you're doing level 3 guitar, or any other instrument, they introduce, level 2, they do 3/4. And then in level 3 and 4, you also do other time signatures that are based on the 2s. Okay, great. Thank you for watching. Sorry about the camera shake.